Well, good evening, everyone. It is now just about a minute after 7, and I thought we would get started with our third webinar in our series of 10. My name is Brian Wilson. For those of you that don't know me, I am the original creator of Consign Pro and the guy that does these webinars every week, or every month, I should say. We've got a bunch of attendees today. It looks like about 20 people have joined us. For those of you that may be here for the first time, welcome. There is, at the bottom of your screen, a little chat bubble that you'll see down there. And if you click on the chat bubble, it'll open up a little window where you can communicate with myself, Sarah, and Kristen all around this webinar. So you can ask questions through that chat window and hopefully get those questions answered by either a member of my team or by myself. Tonight we're going to be taking a look at the Consign Pro Online Store Builder, which we put into the software many years ago. It has gone through several iterations. We're now on its third iteration of the Online Store Builder. It's much better, much more friendly than it was in the past, and we really like it. So I'm pretty excited to show you this feature tonight. We've got a lot of people that have very interested in this new tool. We've got about, I'd say about 140 customers signed up and using it every day to sell online. We built the tool so that you can take the great items that you're putting into Consign Pro every day and share those items on your very own website, branded to your brand with your look, color, feel, fonts, all that good stuff. It'll match your website if you have a store website. If you do not have a store website, this can act as a store website for you. So I'm really excited to show you this new feature and how easy it is to use. I think by the end of this presentation, if you're not an online store customer, you'll probably decide to sign up. It's also very affordable. We have online store pricing starting at $19 a month for a 50-item online store and going up to $59 a month for an unlimited online store. We're also going to talk about today the social media add-on. And what that does is it takes the great-looking items that you put into your online store and it shares those items across your social media accounts, whether those accounts be on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Google+. We can share to all those platforms. We'll touch on that a little bit. That won't be the focus of this meeting. I think that's next month. But the online store is the first thing you need if you're going to use the social media add-on. So that's why we did it in this order. So I've always been under the impression that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So what I'd like to do first is take you to a website, which I'm going to share the link with you after this meeting. And it's the website that we've put together, or web page we've put together for the Consign Pro Online Store Gallery. If I hit refresh once or type, hopefully we'll get some pictures to show up in here. I don't know why they're not. They were showing up earlier. Here they go. Okay. So this is a gallery of every customer, or almost every customer of ours that has an online store with us. Each online store is built custom for you by me. I do it by going on the internet and typing in your business name and the city that you're in, and I look at all of the online digital assets. That is the pictures, the websites, your Facebook page, anywhere where you have a physical presence on the internet. I go there and I search and I look for your fonts, logos, colors, and I try to get an overall impression of your business. Using that information, I build an online store for you. It takes me about 30 minutes per store. We're going to take a look at a couple that I built today that I think are pretty cool. Consign Furniture Reno is one of our customers out in Nevada. And this is obviously a furniture online store that interacts with the Consign Pro program. They've got a whole bunch of inventory in here. You can see a whole bunch of furniture scrolling down. These pages, by the way, we're looking at it on a desktop computer, obviously, but they also render very nicely on smaller format devices, whether that be an iPad or whether that be something like a smartphone, iPhone, Samsung, etc. This is the cookie cutter online store. All of the online stores that we offer and we build all have a similar look and feel. They all look very different once you get in them, but the overall design of them is roughly the same. I'm going to take you through the different elements of the online store. and then I'm going to show you how to customize that online store. You can customize it yourself. And then, of course, I'm going to show you how it integrates with the Consign Pro program to make putting inventory into this online store very easy for you to do. So first of all, let's take a look. Up top, we've got a logo and we've got a large picture. These two things are put in by me, but can be changed by you through the online store control panel. And we're going to look at the online store control panel with our sample store in a few minutes, and we're going to see all of the elements within the store that you have complete control over. Logo is one. Wide rectangle picture is another. Name on top of the store, tagline below it, all of the information at the top you have control over, including the number of tabs that show up or don't show up at the top, the message that is here, where a lot of store owners will put in a return policy or things they want their shoppers to know. And then, of course, all of the items that are in their online store are controlled by Consign Pro. We load you put the inventory into Consign Pro. We pass it every evening during shutdown up to the online store so that you can have great looking pictures and descriptions of your items online. As I go into any one of these items, I can click View Details. And when I do so, it brings up an exploded view of that item. This store is set up with no delivery option, okay? And I know that because this button here says Call to Purchase. Normally, this button would say Add to Cart. And we're going to see that in just a second. And then you'd have an entry as you'd have an option as you're entering that, putting that item into your cart. Do I want to have it shipped to me, or do I want to pick it up? We also have the ability to limit those to say pickup only or in-store pickup. If I click the picture here, I get an exploded view. So for the consumer or shopper's perspective, they really have some flexibility as to seeing some really good detail on the pictures that you're putting into the store. Okay. Let me go back a page here. And this, I'm going to bring up a different store that's going to have an Add to Cart button. And I'm going to go back and look at Carousel Clothing. This is a store we built a while ago. I think it looks really nice, and the store owner is obviously selling women's fashion in here. Much like the furniture store, the look and feel is the same, but it has a different kind of color scheme, different logos, a little bit of a different feel. The format is the same, I should say. If I scroll down and I click View Details next to any item, I have an option, which I mentioned earlier, Ship to Me or Pick Up in Store. The customer who's doing the shopping can select that, and then the Add to Cart button. All of our online stores are tied to the PayPal shopping cart service. So what you would do when we're setting up this online store is we would take the email address associated with your PayPal account, and we would tie that address into your online store. What that means is if somebody shops at your online store, the money goes directly to you. We don't touch the money at all. It goes directly into your PayPal account, and then PayPal sends you an email note and lets you know that the item has been sold. Okay. You'll notice over here we've got the description. You'll notice some of these things from Consign Pro. This is the item description. This is the size they put into Consign Pro. This is the Consign Pro item number. And then it says whether it's in stock or sold. Also gives you the price from Consign Pro. If you do time period markdowns in Consign Pro, the price automatically reduces in your online store. Okay. Let's go back. The buttons at the top are customized by you. If I click Home, this will bring me to Carousel Clothing's main website that they may have built outside of their online store. Consign would take me to their consignment policy, also found on their main website. Check My Account would bring the shopper over to My Resale Web, where they can log in if they're a consigner. Check their account, see what you've done with their items. Directions opens up a pretty cool Google map right to your location. And then Contact Us brings up a nice form where they can contact you right from their online store. Okay. What you do, at the top of this, you'll notice, oops, I clicked the wrong link there. Let's go back. Let's click Shop, and that brings you back to the starting point in the online store. Again, all tied into PayPal shopping cart service. Money goes into your account, you get paid. You'll notice up here at the top, we've got a really long URL, stores.myresaleweb.com/carousel-clothing. That's the address to your online store that you're free to do with whatever you'd like. You can paste that into your Facebook comments. You can share that wherever you'd like to promote your online store. If you have your own URL, you can use it with this online store. It's called domain name forwarding. And if you've got a really catchy URL that you've purchased, we can have that URL automatically, and it's free, point to your online store. So this store may have carouselclothing.com. In that carouselclothing.com, if they didn't have a website but had that neat URL, we could have the online store pop up when somebody types in carouselclothing.com. If they have carouselclothing.com, but they've got a real website that they don't want to lose, we can create it's called a subdomain. That would be like shop.carouselclothing.com. When somebody types in shop.carouselclothing.com, up comes the online store. And of course, you can, from your main website, if you do have a store website, you can create a nice link that says, visit our new online store, and then link that link to the address that we provide you. If we do our job right, the colors, the fonts, the logos from your online store will match very closely to any website that your store may already have. So from the shopper's perspective or visitor's perspective, it's as if they're at the same place. Okay, even though it will open up in a new tab, it will appear like they're with the same company, in the same business, which is nice for a nice experience for the customer. So this is what our online store looks like. Again, everything that's in this online store gets built by us. You'll notice on the left we've got a nice search by size list. We've got a search box up here at the top, and we've got a search by category. In this case, it looks like she has designer names in our type box. If we went back to the furniture store, they don't have sizes listed, but they have items by category. In this case, they put into the type box. In ConsignPro, they put in departments. So whatever you put in that type box in ConsignPro on the Add Inventory screen automatically becomes part of this list as those items are uploaded to your online store. Same thing for sizes. Anything you put into sizes in ConsignPro comes into this list right here. So it's searchable in a number of ways. Okay. Let's close this. Let's jump back to the gallery. Let's take a look next. I think a great place to go would be, how does the online store that we just saw for all of these wonderful customers, how does ConsignPro talk to the online store? And by the way, I'm going to send this link for the store gallery to everybody that's a part of this webinar, so that you'll have the opportunity to see how other store owners have laid out their store, what information are they putting in for the shoppers, do they have a return policy, all that good stuff. Let's minimize this browser and let's jump back to ConsignPro. I'm going to show you, by the way, when you sign up for the online store, I build the online store for you, and then I send you a setup note. And that setup note describes, it's actually a setup and user guide of how we're going to use. Everything that's part of this call today is going to be in that setup note from me. All very clearly described and spelled out to you how it links together, how you connect them. In short, you're going to go into the Maintain Store screen and make sure your Internet ID is okay. Once that's okay, you're going to go into Add Inventory. On the Add Inventory screen, we're going to add an item to the online store. I'm going to add a black leather jacket. Okay. And this you're very familiar with how to do this. This is something you do every day. We've got a new button up here at the top, Promote Online. And here I can put in a nice description. Okay. I can put in a shipping cost or a shipping weight and have that information passed along to PayPal so that when the customer checks out, they get charged the correct amount for shipping. Okay. That's got to be designed by you. PayPal is the place where you can put in some of that information. You can also put it into ConsignPro. Towards the end of this call, I'll talk to you a little bit more about how shipping and tax get calculated. On the right, we've got a little graphic here that says load as many pictures as you want using a little app that we've built. The address to the app is called consignpro.com/start, or I can click the Add Picture button, and I can find a picture on my hard drive. Okay. I don't want to use this feature. I don't like this feature as much. I'm going to show you how to use the remote photo loader in just a second. The remote photo loader allows you to do much more, and it puts much clearer pictures of the items online. I'll put a shipping cost of $5, and I'll say update. And that's it. That's all you have to do to add an item into the online store. You can do this for as many items as you'd like. Once you're done, when you exit the program at the end of the day, we're going to upload these new items to your online store for you. If you want to do it sooner, we can go to Internet, Upload Online Store, and hit the Upload Data button. 2 new items were added to your online store. Click OK and close. Watch what happens. I'm going to go back to my online store. The online store that I am using here is the ConsignPro Sample Store. Okay. This leather jacket has just shown up in my online store. There's no photo. Photo will be added shortly. Okay. Now what I can do is I can pick up my smartphone or my tablet, and I can log into, on that smartphone or tablet, log into a website, start.consignpro.com. Let's take it right from the beginning. Welcome to the ConsignPro Remote Photo Loader. This will look, by the way, really good on a small device or a tablet. Looks pretty good on a desktop too. You can use a desktop with this tool if you'd like. We designed it for tablets or smartphones because they have cameras attached to them. Okay. Gives you some steps, gives you some easy to use steps. I'm going to hit continue, and I'm going to log in. The store I'm using is BK100. Yours would be different. And when I do that, up comes a list of all the items that are waiting for photos right now. Okay, I've only got one, leather jacket, item number 66 from ConsignPro. I'm going to click Add Photos. And now it's going to say Upload a File. Okay. I've got 3 pictures on my hard drive. If I was on my smartphone, what we would have seen is one of 2 things. It would have shown, say, upload from gallery or upload from camera, or take a picture with the camera. You'd have those 2 options, from device gallery or upload from camera or take picture. We're going to upload from a gallery because I've got a couple pictures. I've got 1. This tool lets me do front, back, side. I'm going to do 3 photos of this. 2. I've got 2 photos. I'm going to upload a 3rd. And if you want, you can even reorder these photos. So you can say where they appear, 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. I'm going to keep that in this order. Okay. And let's see. I think that's it. Now I'm going to jump back to my sample store. I'm going to hit the refresh button. And there's my picture. It just got assigned to that listing. And if I visit it or click on it, I also see the other pictures as well. Okay, so you can have as many, using our remote photo loader with the online store, you can have as many pictures as you'd like. The remote photo loader automatically optimizes the picture to be used on this website. So it scales it and shrinks it and sizes it nicely. And we also, if you'll notice, we've got a just arrived banner that appears on any item that you recently upload to the online store. Earlier today in testing, I uploaded a pair of black Levi jeans just to make sure that this was all working great, and those have been sold, and you'll see that's been watermarked with the sold logo. On my left-hand side of the screen, I've got that clothing. That was the type that I put in for the leather jacket from ConsignPro. That clothing got transferred. The description is leather jacket. I'm going to go to View Details. We're going to pretend somebody's shopping here in this online store. This store owner has chosen to only allow pickups in the store, and I'm going to show you where that gets set up. We're going to go into the online store control panel in just a couple minutes, and you'll be able to see what flexibility you have in here. Notice my shipping is $5. That got carried over from ConsignPro as well. and the item number is also appearing from ConsignPro. I can go to Add to Cart. Little pops up in the middle of the screen, a little PayPal shopping cart, and I can go to Checkout. When I go to Checkout, it's automatically going to bring up a screen that allows me to check out using PayPal, where I'd like it shipped to, my credit card information, and exactly what I'm buying. Really neat experience for the customer. They're going to get a nice receipt sent to their email address during checkout. You're going to get that same email sent to you because you're going to need to bring that item number 66 through the Make Sale screen when you get that note from PayPal to your, hopefully to your smartphone. Okay. I'm going to go back. I don't really want to check out here. I'm going to show you what happens when we sell this item. That's item number 66. If I bring 66 through the Make Sale screen, we get a message. This is the integration. Okay. This item is currently for sale in your online store. It will be automatically removed when sold. Click OK. Finish sale and complete sale. If I go back to my online store immediately and hit the refresh button, I see that that leather jacket's been sold. We're going to leave that leather jacket and these pair of jeans will stay with that watermark of sold on it for 14 days. You can control that. If you want it to stay longer or shorter, you can, but we've got it at 14 days right now. After 14 days, it falls off. Okay. What I'm going to do next is, by the way, that's it. That's how hard it is to do, how easy it is to do. Add inventory screen, promote online button, write a cute description. At the end of the day or end of the hour, however often you'd like, upload the items to your online store. That puts them there. And then simply go into our remote photo loader and add some pictures, as many as you'd like. The items appear in the online store and they're ready to be purchased. Once you do it once, it becomes incredibly easy to do, like most things in life. Where I'm going to take you next is into our online store control panel, because this is where all the magic happens, I like to say. Okay? This is where you specify exactly how the online store looks and feels. Okay? You've got a store name that you can customize. If you'd like this page title to say something different than online gallery, you can. Okay? Make it say whatever you'd like. Phone number, street address, city, state, zip, email address. You have control over the colors. Navigation color, heading color, button face color. Okay? Play with those. Get them. I'm going to do my best to make this a great looking online store. You don't like the colors that I've chosen, you have control. And here goes your home page. If you've got a website, like we do, consignpro.com. If you've got a website, you can put your website URL in here, and that becomes the link for the home button in the menu at the top. If you've got a link to Consign, how to consign with you on your web page, you can put that link into Consign link. Currency can be any currency you'd like. Admin password, that's how we logged into this control panel. You may want to change your password after we give you the default one. Change the password so that nobody else besides you can get into this control panel. This description box is used for what goes at the top of your online store. I'll go back just a second. It's all this wording right here. Okay? You can go in there and you can put in whatever you'd like the customer to see. Some people have put in shipping policies, return policies. They've put in whether you can shop online or whether you have to come into the store to pick it up. So really, some people just use it to describe their store. We have 2 locations. Come in, see us. One's at this address, one's at that address, whatever you'd like. And you've got some it's called rich text up here where you can bold things, make things color. You can put in hyperlinks. So you really have a lot of control over this description. That's where you kind of welcome your customer to the store and tell them what to expect. Okay? Here we've got a logo. That's the square at the top and the wide rectangle. Okay. That's the logo up here and the wide rectangle right here. We're going to do our best to make those look great for you when we build your online store. Let's keep going down. If you have accounts on social media, you can put those accounts in here. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and Google+. They will appear at the top with nice little links so that people can visit your social media pages right from your online store. Catalog only. Maybe you just want to show people things that are in your online store. Maybe you don't want to allow them to shop. We have some people that sell furniture on consignment. We saw one of those. They're catalog only. And in that case, the add to cart button becomes a call this phone number to purchase button. Okay, so catalog only. No shopping online, just visiting and browsing online. Okay. Default sort order depends on how you want your items in your store to be sorted. Newest items first is common. Price high to low. That's the default sort order. You will notice that if we go back to the shop button up top, we can sort by. Okay, so your customer has control over how they see your online store. Okay, you have the control over the first way that it's presented to every customer, but your customer can change it for themselves only. That's helpful to them. If you don't have My Resale Web, you may want to put a check in the Hide Check My Account link. Okay, doing so will get rid of the link up top that says Check My Account. Okay. Let's see, hide size list. Well, if we are selling furniture, the size list might not be very important. And in fact, it might be distracting. On the left-hand side, if you hide the size list, it won't appear. Default delivery, ship to me, pick up in store, or no shipping. Okay, so you can tell what do you want the default delivery to be. Ship, pick up, or no shipping at all. Very straightforward. This I talked about a few minutes ago. How long do we keep the item in the store with that nice sold watermark across the front of it before we remove it? 14 days is our default. You can change it to any number of days you'd like. After that number of days, it falls off the online store completely. All of our online stores are limited to the number of items that the plan you've purchased. So we've got a 50, 100, a 200, a 500, and an unlimited. As an item sells, you can immediately replace that item with a new item. If you're at your limit, you can immediately replace it the second it sells. Okay. If you donate or return an item in ConsignPro to a consignor or to a charity, that item falls off the online store immediately. If you sell an item in ConsignPro, that item falls off the online store the same day, same hour, same minute. So we keep your online store manageable, and we remove items that are no longer available to you to sell, and that's the integration part that you're really interested in. There are other great online selling tools like eBay, Shopify, BigCommerce, Volusion. Those aren't going to have the same integration. So ConsignPro is not going to talk to any of those other websites. The only website that ConsignPro is going to talk to is this online store that we've built. And it works really well. They're very tightly integrated, making your life easy. You can say only display items with photos. So you might not want to see that little placeholder that we saw just a moment ago, where it says waiting for photo. In that case, you can hide that, and it will only appear if the item has a photo. All of our online stores have a counter at the bottom, and that can be used for you to see how much traffic there is. This one does not. Let's go to one that does. Consignment Furniture Reno. You'll notice right at the bottom, we've got a counter. There's visits to their store 1,689 times. You'll see right down there. And we'll create that counter for you. Let's see, where else do we have? What else do we have here? Counter created. Yes, I want a counter or I don't want to create a counter. That's exactly that. Custom heading. This is a brand new feature. We just added this. Let's create a custom heading. Let's call it return policy. Okay. This is my bogus return policy. I just want to see how it looks. Watch what happens. This is neat for a couple of reasons. I'm going to save this change. Now I've got another link, and this, by the way, would generally appear to the right of Contact Us. I'm going to hide check my account because I don't use My Resale Web, and I'm going to save this, and that menu is going to appear a little bit nicer. We have everything on this menu. You don't have to have everything. You might not have everything, so you're probably going to see your new tab come out. Return policy is a little bit long too. You might have a shorter name. In any case, when I click return policy, this is where the wording shows up. And you can have whatever wording you'd like there. Some people will do an about us. Some people might do a return policy. Some people might do a privacy statement. What this, in my mind, does is if your store doesn't have a website today, and you don't know if you want to go through the expense of building a whole website for your store, you may be able to get away with this being the website for your store, okay? If you do that, then this extra tab that we have here may give you the flexibility that you need or want to include more information, okay? And lastly, we've got a new feature we just added. Mark down all items by this %. You can have a store-wide sale where you say, I want my entire online store to be 20% off. And if you do that, then what will happen is all the prices in your online store will be reduced. And if you just give me 1 second here, I'm going to show you a store owner that's doing that today. One of our new customers, Nicole at Lovely Ladies. This is her online store. I literally created this store for her about 10 days ago. She has hundreds of items in it already. And you'll notice she's having a store-wide sale right now of 10% off everything. So we show the original price crossed out and the current price right next to it. Okay. So that's pretty neat little store-wide sale we have in there. Doesn't affect any of the pricing in Consign Pro. It only applies to people shopping in your online store. Okay. And so that's the online store control panel. It is provided to anybody that signs up for an online store, and it can be used by you to customize the work that I do in trying to make your online store look good. I'm good. You might be better. If you are, have at it. Put nicer logos than I do, nicer pictures, nicer descriptions. I tend to go around the internet to your Facebook page, and I tend to steal things from your pages just to kind of keep your look and feel moving forward into your new online store for you. Okay, so that's our store gallery. That's our sample store. That's how it interacts with Consign Pro. As I said, if you go into Consign Pro and you donate something, sell something, or return something, it falls out of your online store automatically. If you want to remove an item from your online store for whatever reason, we have up here at the top, Internet, Remove Listing. And this will remove the item from the online store just by you typing in the item number and clicking OK. Item 65 successfully removed from online store. And if I go back and hit refresh, item number 65 disappeared, and I'm just left with item 66. Okay, so you have a lot of control from this online store from the Consign Pro program, and you also have a lot of control from it through your control panel that we send you a link to. As I mentioned, we give you the URL for the online store that you can either change if you've got a glamorous URL or a vanity URL that you're using for a website. You can create a link from your website to ours, or you can even create a subdomain like shop.myurl.com, and that would bring your online store. So you've got a real lot of flexibility. Let's show you. I want to show you something here on our website at consignpro.com. We've got all this. Everything I'm talking about is mentioned in our online store information. I'm going to go to online store, learn more. I'm going to send you this link, by the way, after we're done. It's going to show you a lot of the stuff we're going through. Here are our store sizes and costs. 50 item store, $19 a month. 100 items, $24, all the way up to 500 items, $39. Unlimited store size, no limit to the number of items, $59 a month. A one-time $49 setup fee applies to all store sizes. That's our one-time fee for putting a great-looking store together for you. Okay. The remote photo loader that we talked about is included with every online store that we offer, so that's yours at no charge. As I mentioned before a few times, it works great with your smartphone. It works great with your tablet. Let's see what else I can tell you here. That's the integration. I'm going to go back to our page here. We've got online store FAQ. This is our frequently asked questions about the online store. And here a lot of the things I've covered are mentioned. Just trying to see if I forgot anything. Do I need a website to use your online store? No, you do not. Many customers use the online store as their website. I mentioned that already. Can I bring my own URL? You absolutely can. How do I drive traffic? That's where we're headed next. So we give you this great tool. Okay, think of it as a hammer, right? So let's call it a hammer. I like analogies. I give you this hammer, you buy the hammer at the hardware store and you bring it home and you put it in your toolbox and you never take it out and you never use it. Well, it's not going to do you much good. Much like this online store is nothing but a tool. Okay, so we're giving you a great tool where you can promote your items and share your items with the world. You are not going to get a lot of traffic to your online store just because it's built and just because it's there. The famous phrase, if you build it, they will come, isn't necessarily true when it comes to the billion-plus websites that are out there selling things. So we need to drive traffic to that online store. How do we go about doing that? There's a couple of different ways. One, we give you the URL, and it's your job, primarily your job, to promote that URL. You can do so from your website. You can do so from your social media accounts. Those are the two best ways probably to do that. The third way is letting us kind of do the promotion for you through social media. We've got a neat little tool called our social media add-on. And the social media add-on, what it does is it ties your online store to all of these platforms: Facebook, Pinterest, Google+, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay, we're not social media experts, but we know a great group of people that does this. They work up in Connecticut. They're by the name of Bring Social. That's all they do. And what they do is they have written a little piece of software that takes the items that you post to your online store, and then it takes those items and it puts those items into your social media feeds. So on Facebook, for example, it would go onto your profile page for your business account, and it would then, any followers of your business page would see that in their news feeds. Okay. The pricing for us to do the social media promotion for you starts at $24 a week, Facebook only, and it goes up to $249 a week for our gold package. That's expensive. It's about $1,000 a month. There's a lot of custom writing that goes on. There's a lot of people looking at this, putting the right posts together for you, and getting those posts through all of your social media accounts. I will share a link to this chart for you after this webinar is complete, with the also link to the webinar itself. You can see all of the different things that are included with the different social media plans that we have available. Okay, bronze all the way up, Facebook only, bronze, silver, and gold. You'll be working with the team at Bring Social to put together a marketing campaign for you that goes through your different social media channels and allows all of those items to be shared with your followers. Not only are the items shared, but if a follower were to click on any of those items or the Shop Now button, it would bring them right back to your online store to the item that's in question. Okay, and then the Add to Cart button obviously would be there as well. Okay, so not only do we share and promote through social media, we provide a backlink, it's called, back to your online store, so that the customer looking at your Facebook page can actually buy the item in your online store. And again, that starts at $24 a week. It's pretty affordable. Okay, let's go back here. What do I do if an item sells online? That's a great question. We get it all the time. When you sell an item online, it does not get marked as sold in your online store immediately. Instead, what happens is PayPal sends you an email note and says, please sell this item through the ConsignPro Make Sale screen. It goes right to your smartphone. The second you sell it through the Make Sale screen in ConsignPro, it's marked as sold in your online store. Problem solved. The next question people say is, well, what if it sells in my online store it just sold in my brick and mortar store a half an hour beforehand, and then it sells in the online store, or vice versa? That can happen. I don't know that it's ever happened before, but it can, and you should do something to let your customer know that, sorry, due to the nature of selling online and in a brick and mortar store, we don't always, because We don't always have the availability of the items we're trying to sell online. We sell things so quickly, et cetera, et cetera. So that would be a good conversation to have ready just in case it does sell in both. As I said, I don't think it's ever happened. And then, of course, we provide full support for this online store, much like we provide full support for anything and everything having to do with ConsignPro. Tips for success. I don't have time to go through this right now, but I've put together not only a user guide for our online store, but maybe a motivational guide to kind of get you going and get you selling, as well as some tips and tricks on how to do all of this. Okay, we've got a case study for the missing piece in Tampa, and that case study shows you how the missing piece was able to really use our social media add-on and get a really great return on investment using that. Okay, so I'm going to share this letter that I've put together, or guide that I put together, with all of you at the end of this webinar. Okay. Can I cancel my online store? You can cancel it at any time. We now have this $49 setup fee, which covers the upfront work. It used to be $99. We've cut it down to $49. We've set up 140 of these. I think maybe 6 people have canceled them. People that cancel them are generally fall into the same category. They don't want to put the effort in. And when I say that, this takes some effort. Nobody's going to come to your store and take pictures of your items. Nobody's going to write nice-looking online descriptions for you. And nobody's going to promote the online store or the items in it for you. Okay? Although we have our social media add-on, we can help you with that. But the real effort has to be on your part. Okay? With that said, the other 134 customers are really getting a lot and really having a lot of success using this online store. If there's anyone on this call, we're getting close to the end of our time, and I'm kind of running out of things that I can tell you about. We've covered pretty much everything as it relates to adding descriptions, adding photos, the integration with ConsignPro. We've covered kind of all of the pricing of it. How do I get signed up? We haven't talked about that. If you send me an email note, or you can purchase right through our order page here, online services on our order page, we've got this online store builder, and you can select the store size right from here. Okay. When you do that, give me about 12 hours, and I will have a great looking online store built and ready for you to use. So I was going to say, do we have any people on here on this call that are using our online store feature today, where they'd like to share their experiences, positive or negative, with the audience here? If you are, maybe comment through the chat window and I can open up your microphone. Do we have any questions? Questions can be asked via the chat window as well. Let's see. Ann Jones says, Pinterest told me they no longer allow sale promotion on their site. Existing sales are grandfathered in. So Pinterest may be a platform that we no longer have the ability to access through software. The social media add-on used to be able to post to Pinterest. It may not be able to. It sounds like it can't post to Pinterest automatically anymore. Okay. Dan Tryon, if using smartphone for pictures, do I need a new subscription for license? No, you don't. The remote photo loader is something that you would bring up on your smartphone by going into whatever browser you have. On my iPhone, it's called Safari. And I would go into Safari, I would type into that browser start.consignpro.com, and I would be able to log in. And that remote photo loader is completely free. Okay. No additional licenses included with your online store. Other questions people had? Let's see. Is there anybody here that wants to talk about their online store? I've asked once. I don't see anybody raising their hand. Can we connect with CP users who have the online store builder? Can you provide name and contact information? That was Missy's question. So Missy, the answer to that is yes. I'm going to send you a link to that nice store gallery we were looking at a few minutes ago. And if you go to that store gallery, which is available, let's see, bear with me, /store gallery. I'll send you a link. you're going to be able to visit any store that kind of looks like yours or feels like yours. And when you do so, up at the top, there will be their contact information, whether it's a phone number or whether you hit the Contact Us button, okay? And you'll have their email address as well. So anybody that's in this store gallery, you'll have access to. The stores at the top of this gallery are the stores with the highest number of items that are in the store. To the bottom is the stores with the least experience using the new feature, okay? So if you want to stick close to the top of this list, you'll get people that have the most experience. And you can reach out to them politely. They're actually not paid by anybody, so be conscious of the amount of time that you're using of theirs. I like this one. This is a store that's selling saddles and tack equipment for equestrian events on an online store. I think the design is pretty different, pretty cool. Our biggest user is called the Tool Consignment. This is a consignment store that does tools, power tools. They probably have 500 items online, okay, and they're selling. Whether they're selling through their online store or whether they're selling through their brick and mortar store, I can't tell you, but I can tell you this is one of our biggest users of the online store. So we've got tools, clothing, kids, furniture, activewear, furniture. You'll find a store in here that's very similar to what it is you're selling. Nicole, great customer of ours. We built this store for her, as I mentioned, about almost 2 weeks ago, and she is loving it. I think she had a little bit, I had to walk her through, I think, a little bit of how to use the remote photo loader, which was a 5-minute phone call. We haven't heard from her since, and she's put up hundreds of items. So once you can log into that remote photo loader, you get some nice descriptions written, and she's selling like gangbusters in this online store. We call this our, the Amazon effect is affecting most retailers. I don't think any of you are immune from it. People aren't going to brick and mortar stores as much as they were 5 or certainly 10 years ago. And so you really need to be online. And we think this online store tool and the very affordable nature of it allows you to, compete in some ways with other online retailers. Okay, I'm not going to say you're going to become Amazon tomorrow, but if you've got a really nice following in your town, this might be a good way to get your products out in front of them from their iPad on their couch, rather than having to get in their car to come see what your new finds are. And again, the newest items are always shown first in the online store, unless you say otherwise. Okay, so this is, I think it's a great tool. It's a lot like that hammer. If you're just going to put it in your toolbox, don't expect too much out of it. If you're going to learn how to use it and you're going to really work at it, much like you did your brick and mortar store, it's going to pay off. If you just opened your door at your brick and mortar store and did nothing more than turn the lights on each morning and unlock the door, you probably wouldn't be in business very long. This is no different than that. It's going to require some effort. We give you a great tool. We make it real easy for you to do. But at the end of the day, it's going to take some effort on your part. And that little pep talk white paper that I put together is going to be yours to maybe tack up on your wall and motivate you to get items in here and to share these items with your followers on social media. Okay. So unless anybody has any other questions, let's take a look. Let's see. Missy says, you have mentioned before you like Apple products for your tablets. Any specific one that would work great for this? Does anyone else out there use a tablet for CP? I love the iPad. So listen, I'm a little bit biased, I guess. I like Apple products. I only buy Apple products when it comes to smartphones and tablets. An iPad would work fantastic for this. An iPad mini would work fantastic for this. Again, you're using it for that remote photo loader and the camera feature primarily. I would suggest, or even a smartphone would work great for that. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions here? We're going to share a link to this to everybody at the end of this. So if you had any connection issues or PC problems, a reboot of your PC and a replay of this presentation through YouTube should solve those for you. I think that's probably pretty much it today. We're at 7:50. We finished a few minutes early. We usually do. But I hope that your takeaway from this is that this online store can benefit you, and that it's priced affordably. And even if it doesn't work for you for whatever reason, we'll try to make it work. We'll do our best to get it working for you in the way that makes sense. We're literally constantly improving this. Our last round of improvements went on yesterday. Every day we come up with new ways to make this better. Nicole, whose website you're looking at right now, or whose online store you're looking at right now, has been fantastic. She has shared with us a lot of great ideas on how to make this even better. In fact, her idea was the store-wide sale. She's using that, and she's given us some other great ideas on how to make the remote photo loader more friendly and how to make the online store more friendly as well. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation, and I look forward to seeing you next month. Our topic next month is, let's see, I think it's the social media add-on. I'm going to go and check that out right now. July 5th, Thursday, social media add-on. Picking up from tonight's session, we're going to focus on how that social media add-on works. We're also going to have some people from Bring Social on the line. They're the company we partner with to get the most bang for your buck out of spending your money on promoting your online via your social media accounts. What are you getting for that money? Is there value there? Are you going to see a return on your investment? They're going to share some case studies with you, and hopefully that'll be helpful. Again, thank you, everybody. It's nice seeing you, talking to you tonight, and I hope you got a lot out of this. Have a great night.